Am I the asshole for demanding my widowed sister-in-law and her kids to leave after she put a lock on the bathroom door and denied my daughter access to it? I am a father of a 16-year-old daughter. I own a one-bathroom, middle-sized house where me, my wife, her widowed sister, and her two kids, 13 and 16, live. My daughter had issues with her mother and requested to live with me permanently. I had the legal stuff finalized and my daughter moved in with us about a month ago. She and her stepmom get along. So far, everything was going well. My daughter got her period a few days ago. Nothing new, nothing strange, except my sister-in-law came to me complaining about my daughter leaving used pads in the bathroom, causing her sons to see them. I asked where exactly, and she said in the trash can. I laughed in her face, asking if she thought this was abnormal or strange. She got upset that I didn't understand her point and wanted me to listen carefully as she explained that her boys are pretty young and should not be subjected to witness stuff like that. I said, I'll see what I can do. I talked to my daughter and made sure she wasn't just leaving her used pads in full display inside the trash can. Turns out she wraps them in toilet paper, which is enough, in my opinion. I told my sister-in-law there was no problem then, and she should quit being too sensitive over her boys. She got mad, saying I was dismissing her concerns and reminded me her oldest has a blood phobia, and my daughter, even though doing it unintentionally, keeps leaving her pads exposed. I welcomed any ideas to fix this, and she suggested my daughter throw her used pads outside the house. I stopped arguing at the point because of how ridiculous she was being. She then threatened me to change the bathroom door lock if I didn't do something, but I laughed her off. My daughter called me the next day after getting back from school saying her step-aunt refused to let her use the bathroom and she was keeping it locked. She had used her new friend's bathroom but was freaking livid. I went home and blew up at my sister-in-law. She apologetically said the lock was only for when my daughter tries to leave her pads inside, and she would have allowed her if she agreed to put her used pads elsewhere, but my daughter was stubborn. I told her she was out of her mind to get a new lock for my door in my house and keep my daughter from accessing the bathroom. I removed it quickly and she kept lashing. Then she called my wife. My wife came to calm us down, but I told her and sister-in-law that I have no problem kicking her out. My sister-in-law started crying to my wife, and my wife said her sister is a widow and will be homeless without us. I said I stopped giving a crap the minute she tried to keep my daughter out of the bathroom. I demanded that she leaves, but my wife said I was unfair to those kids. I bluntly said that's not my problem, and she has 6 days to move out. So, am I the asshole for demanding my widowed sister-in-law and her two kids to leave after she put a lock on the bathroom door and denied my daughter access to it? Am I the asshole for refusing to drop charges against a 16-year-old? My brother, 17 male, lives with me, 25 female, and my husband, 26 male, full-time since both of our parents passed away in an accident last February. He is a great kid, but losing our parents made him quiet, sad, And I've tried to encourage him to attend therapy so he can work on his grief, but he has refused every single time, telling me that he's not ready yet. I get it. Everyone works at their own pace, and as long as he's not deliberately hurting himself, I won't pressure him. I try to be as involved in his life as I can be without it being overwhelming. We both enjoy movie nights or binge watching shows on the weekends, and he also helps my husband with his old car. Before our parents' passing, my brother had a girlfriend, 16 female. She seemed like a good kid too, but after the funeral, my brother decided that being in a relationship wasn't what he needed at that time and broke up with her, which is totally valid. But she did not take it well and was unsure that my brother only some love to heal. Last month, she began to drop letters and gifts to our door, and my brother refused to open them every single time. She used to message and call him too, and I could see the distress on my brother's face. The worst thing happened last Friday. It was my brother's birthday, and my husband and I decided to take him out. When we got back, he went to his room, and as soon as he did it, he came down running. Now, his ex found her way into my house, arranged his room with photos of him with her, their friends, and our family, put some balloons, and was waiting for him with a cake. Mind you, this is creepy AF. So, while my husband entertained her, I called the police and they took her for trespassing private property. My brother is thankful, but my husband and the girl's parents are sure that I'm overreacting and that I should drop the charges because she's trying to do something nice. So, am I the asshole for refusing to drop charges against a 16-year-old? Am I the asshole for focusing on medical school over my wife's mental health? I'm in medical school. Me and my wife and our 1-year-old daughter are about 4 hours away from both of our families. I'm 3 months into school, and my wife has left and taken our daughter to her mom's house 4 hours away and is making an ultimatum. Either I help her more with our daughter or she doesn't come back. This is what my days consist of. I go to school from 9 to 5, and then I come home and try to help a little until about 8 p.m., where I study then until about 11 p.m., and then I do it all over again. I'm really not present a lot, but I'm trying to make a life for us by being a doctor and being able to provide for everyone. My wife doesn't see it like that. I don't know where the issue is in translation, but she just doesn't see eye to eye with me. I've told her that anatomy, the hardest part of medical school, ends in 3 weeks and then I'll be more present. She told me, "You're not understanding. I need help now, not in 3 weeks." So pretty much either I fail out of medical school and I'm a good parent, or I pass anatomy and I'm a terrible father. I'm honestly in tears right now. So, am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for causing my husband to miss his trip by not packing his bag despite him repeatedly asking me? My husband travels for work every few months. He's irresponsible with time and counts on others to do stuff for him using the "I'm tired" excuse. He is the breadwinner, by the way. He had a business trip, and the day of the trip, he saw me carrying the laundry basket and said, "Hey, can you pack my bag?" I asked why he didn't do it the night before, and he said he was up all night playing Fortnite. I asked why he can't pack his bag now, and he replied, "I gotta go catch up with the boys before I leave the country." I told him no, and that he should do it himself. He asked why not, and I told him that I had to do the laundry, then cook for the kids, then help them with homework, then wash the rugs, then clean the messy bathroom, then the playing room, then work on my garden project. He stood there with his eyebrow lifted up as I went on. I suggested he stays home, packs his own bag, and help around till it was time for his trip. He did not like my suggestion and complained about missing the boys and wanting to see them one last time and say goodbye before he leaves. He begged, but I said no. He then suddenly went inside the bedroom. I thought he was packing, grabbed his phone, keys, and jacket, and rushed out. I just went about my day. It was 5 o'clock and he hadn't returned yet. I was concerned, thinking he had little time and still hadn't packed yet. He returned home at 6, walked into the bedroom, and started panicking, asking why his bag wasn't packed and ready yet. I told him he should ask himself since he stayed out for hours. He said he was counting on me to pack his bag and even sent me a text hoping I'd eventually do it. I didn't see the text, and even if I did, I never agreed, so he shouldn't have assumed I was going to pack his bag for him. He got upset and started packing. His stuff was all over the place, and he couldn't even find his papers. He was finally done and left. I then got an angry call from him asking if I was happy. I said, "Why? What happened?" And he said he missed his flight, just like, quote unquote, I wanted. He came home and lost it, saying I cost him his business trip, which was supposed to earn him money, and made him look unreliable and unprofessional, and compromised his work after I refused to do him this small favor and pack his goddamn bag. I responded that he shouldn't have hung out with his buddies literally hours before his flight, but he said he believed this was done spitefully to get him to sit home with me. I was shocked. No words, just a shocked face. He called his friends saying his trip didn't happen, then turned to me and said thanks to me, then proceeded to ask where they were going to meet for dinner. He told me, quote unquote, "No trip," meaning I'll be home for the next couple weeks. Isn't that what you wanted? Great. We'll both now stay home and wallow in misery. God bless. Then he walked out. So, am I the asshole for causing my husband to miss his trip by not packing his bag despite him repeatedly asking? He is saying that I just caused him issues at work. Should I have packed his bag anyway?